Hi. I'm really freaking excited for today's video because I can finally dip into this makeup product that I've been waiting for quite a while. And it's the collaboration eyeshadow palette between Ghoul in Japan and NOIRICORN? NOIRICORN? If you know that website where you can buy C-Beauty Mall, it's their brand, I think. Shout out to Ghoul, love Ghoul. She's like my favorite content creator right now, to be honest. She contacted me a while ago, actually, and she was like, oh, I'm making this palette and I would love to send to you. I was like, okay, period. Yes, I would love it. But for some reason, C-Beauty Mall doesn't know how to input information. When they're shipping to Korea, you have to put in the personal customs code for if you live in Korea, you need that code. I give them the same number I give every brand, or if I'm shopping myself, I put the same personal code. I have it in my iPhone Notes app. I just copy and paste it to them because they're like, oh, it keeps getting sent back to, well, I don't fucking know. So in the end, I ended up buying it myself, and yet it kept getting sent back to C-Beauty Mall. And in fact, I was waiting. I was like, where is it? I checked the tracking, it had been returned. If I did not email the customer service, they would not have even bothered to refund me. So in the end, I did get a refund, and you know what? I was like, I'm going to Texas anyway. Let me just ship it to Texas. Girl, they were real fucking quick with that. I got this shit like even before I arrived in Texas. Girl, anyway, all that mess aside, I'm excited to try this. This artwork is so freaking pretty. I believe she was inspired by I definitely know she was inspired by Dark Souls. We actually played Dark Souls together, and girl, I love a good Dark Souls or Demon Souls game. And girl, it's been a while, and so I was rusty, but it was really fun, and so I need to hop up because Night Rain just came out. So girl, I need to get on that. But anyway, that's what the theme of the palette is, and beautiful, gorgeous, love her. It's a very gothic color story, I feel like. You got your grays, of course, your black, of course, your red, of course, but then you got these acid greens. So girl, we're gonna play with this. I, of course, have to do my basic up first, so of course, if you wanna skip to the eyeshadow part, I'll obviously put the thing down below. So I'm gonna put my makeup on. Get that in. I'm gonna put my lip balm because my lips are, girl, I look like a mess right now. I just got back from Ulta, actually. I bought a bunch of eyeshadow palettes from Morphe because they're doing like this whole rebrand. Girl, you know, back in 2015, 2016, they basically, all their marketing was just influencers. So if you go to Ulta or whatever, all you see is the influencers on their shit. But now they've completely rebranded, and I'm kind of obsessed with the rebrand. It's giving very much like C-Beauty in a way. So I'll make content about all those new eyeshadow palettes because I've been seeing a lot of people show their new eyeshadow palettes, and girl, my pussy is ready for that shit. Also, oh my god. So I just finished watching Squid Game Season 3. I actually didn't watch 2, so I had to binge watch it in like a day. But girl, I binge watched both in 2 days. I don't think I've cried that much in a while. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that didn't watch it, but I think I saw a quote or something from the director, and he was saying how this is going to be the saddest season of the franchise. And honestly, yep, it sure motherfucking is. I was bawling, girl, and I was watching it with my 2 sisters, so I was just like this the whole time. I didn't want to show my tears. Well, I wouldn't say I'm going to be doing goth makeup because to be honest, I'm not familiar with the subculture and like the makeup styles and all that, because girl, I know even with them, they've got drama over there about what's goth and what's not. I think the most I'm gonna do, besides using these eyeshadow colors, I'm gonna mix my, TirTir foundation. I usually use the skin tone color of the BB cream from Glow, but today I'm gonna mix in white to give a more ghostly appearance, I guess. Is it giving ghost? Not really. To be honest with you, I could go the Espa route and put like tone-up cream on my neck, but it's so hot. I don't feel like putting shit on my neck. It feels so sticky. I'm just taking the rest on my puff and just putting that on my forehead. My concealers, these are just my Malu Wilz ones. Some here, I have to be careful because it's so warm here in Texas that these actually melt a little bit. So they're way more pigmented, and you see, I don't normally get this much creaminess from them. So it's gonna be a little bit careful. Also, I got a bunch of new brushes from Morphe, and girl, I'm kind of obsessed. I'm like 100% sure these brushes are made in China. And so to be honest, the handles and like the brush shapes and the synthetic fibers are giving, made in China, which although I say that doesn't mean it's like a bad thing, because a lot of the makeup brands and makeup brush brands get their shit from China, and they're constantly developing new like synthetic fibers and stuff. And so yeah, anyway, it just reminds me of a lot of the brushes that I often see on Xiaohongshu. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, and also they're pretty affordable. Like even this is like $10 or something. And it's it feels really sturdy, and the bristles are really nice. This is the M131 concealer. I want my face as like even as possible. I don't want any of this beard showing through because I'm going to be using quite strong colors. Although I'm not putting like a white foundation on, I want the canvas to be as blank as possible. And then I'm going to use the TirTir concealer in 1.5W to highlight. To be honest, I don't think this is light enough, so I'm just going to mix it with a bit of the white from my flower nose. If I'm going to be honest, I could totally just use this by itself. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This heat got me all fucked up. Also, after we went shopping at Ulta and Target, we stopped by this place called something ramen. Anyway, just a ramen, like a Japanese ramen place. Girl, there's something about Asian restaurants in America. Like, they had Korean food at this ramen place. Like, what? Which, okay, I know. There's like, I feel like there's a lot of fusion places, right, in the States, but having Korean food at your, because if you look from the outside and from the, I don't know, a lot of these like Asian American restaurants, I get their concepts are so confused. It'll be like this weird fusion of like, oh, it's like an Asian, like, it'll be like a sushi restaurant, right? But then it'll be like the fonts and stuff that they use and like the LED lights that they'll have in the restaurants are like these really weird, they look like American nightclubs, like what? But yeah, I just thought it was funny that they had like, because we were passing by and I was like, oh, they have a ramen place. And I was kind of craving ramen. And my sister was like, yeah, their Korean food is pretty good. I was like, what? Boji? Just to take some of the moistness off my face, I'm going to use this powder from Flower Nose. Oh yeah, girl, this is, okay, now it's kind of giving pale and ghostly. Also, I dyed the sides of my hair. I used those, if you guys have ever heard of Muyumsek, water hair color. It's like, because you know, if you go to, you know, a regular drugstore in the States, right? CVS, whatever, and you go to the hair dye section, it's just like box dyes, right? There's a category of hair dyes in Korea called Muyumsek, and it's like hair dye, but it doesn't have like ammonia and stuff, like, you know, the developer and like the color. It's like this powder that's made of like natural ingredients that you literally just add water to it, and it's just like regular hair dye, but you're using water instead of developer, and it's a lot more gentle. But because it's like natural and stuff, there's no like crazy colors. It's just like brown and black. I said in one of my previous videos that although hair loss doesn't run in my family, gray hair runs in my family. And so, girl, the gray hairs are getting crazy. So I used that earlier today and I feel like a new woman. I'm gonna use my contour stick and contour in the more recent way I've been showing you guys, because I feel like it does a better job of making me look more gaunt, which I feel like would be the vibe. Here, I'm following, like, you see this like natural shape? I'm basically following that. I'm going a little bit here. A fucking mess, bruh. I forgot how this is a contour stick from Daiso, and I forget how quickly they set. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's just like a random Daiso contour stick, so it's probably like really waxy or really creamy and doesn't really set, but they set really fast, actually. I should have done it one side at a time. Do you see how more like concave my face looks? Just going over with my sponge so that whatever base makeup is in that sponge that's left, I can kind of use to blend my face. I'm gonna go back with my white concealer. Also, the lenses I'm wearing, I'll put it on the screen, but these are from Hapa Christine, which, I don't know. I haven't, to be honest with you, ever since I got LASIK, because you guys know, before I got my LASIK, I would always wear lenses in my videos. Not only for sight, but, you know, for the look. I am the owner of the only 24 karat gold La Boo Boo. That shit has been stuck in my head for days, girl. Yeah, I walked into a lens store for the first time in a while, actually. You know, I have my lens from before, but I just ordered this online. But it is a true K-beauty experience. Asian beauty experience. Walk into a motherfucking lens store, girl. And to be honest, I cannot believe, girl, if you remember fucking Pinky Paradise, girl. I mean, even then, I always thought like, oh wow, the lenses here are not as expensive as I thought, because I would be used to knowing within the American healthcare system, contact lenses were not cheap. But when I would go on fucking Pinky Paradise and I would see those lower prices, I'd be like, wow, damn. You know, but then of course you'd have the shipping, right? But now you can really get lens for not only cheaper, you get 1+1, 2+1. They always be doing sales and shit. So yeah, lenses, it's part of the Asian beauty experience. Oldang, oldang. just for a slight bit of color in my face, I'm gonna use this Flower Nose blush. Girl, this shit is so fucking nice. Love these blushes, but out of all the collections, I dislike this one the most because it's just so fucking bulky. Love the color though. I'm gonna use this lighter shade just between the highlight and the, the contour. I'm pulling out my beloved eyebrow pencil from AliExpress, and I'm gonna use this to do my eyebrows. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. Feels so nice. Now they look a little bit dark right now. I literally used the black color, but once I have the eyeshadow on, it should look less crazy. Okay, so there's the base makeup. Let's play with the eyeshadow palette now, yay! So there's the base makeup done. Let's play with the eyeshadow palette now. I'm so fucking excited. I was kind of running through my head about what I want to do with these colors, because I mean, I could try to use every single color, but I think as we have seen in the past, that has fucked me in the ass. The only thing that ever fucks me in the ass. So I'm gonna use like a majority of them, but I won't try to use every single one, because I don't really have a lot of eyelid space to begin with. So let's see. First, let me put a touch of powder on my lids, because these are from the swatches I've seen. Girl, this shit looks pigmented. Even looking at it in the goddamn pan. Like, did you see this black called soot? That, like, you can tell she's pigmented. Holy crap. Oh God, I'm wiping it and you can see. So, one, amazing, great. We love pigment, of course. But two, I don't know, you gotta have the right brushes, girl, and the right, not technique necessarily, but just, you gotta be careful with these things. So, first what I'm gonna do is dip into Grave Light. Pretty much. Here. I need to have another brush on hand to blend, because otherwise I'm gonna fuck this shit up, girl. But I'm already loving it. That is a beautiful neutral gray color. Ah, I love it already. You cannot fucking put an eyeshadow palette. I know I don't use these in my daily makeup, but you cannot put a beautiful color store like this in front of my face and not expect me to start moaning and fucking screaming, girl. I'm not even gonna try to be super blendy about it. In fact, I kind of want it to look a little bit messy in a way. I feel like it kind of goes with the spirit of this palette in a way. But of course, that could also be me making excuses for my lack of makeup talent. Do what you want with that, ladies. Then I'm gonna take a deeper gray shade that looks a little bit more cool tone, and this is Wraithwood. I forgot to do my under eyes, my Acusar. Let me put that in real quick. I'm gonna use this MAC paint pot. Oh my God, this shit has been in my life for so long. Like the product itself, not necessarily this. That powder I showed you in my last video, the same time I bought that, I was like, because she was like, oh, if you spend a little bit more, then you can get this free MAC Fix Plus, which another part of my makeup history, all of our makeup histories. So I was like, oh, I guess I was looking around and I was like, oh, what about a paint pot? So I was like, oh, maybe I can use it for Acusar, which is what I'm doing now. And I think it's actually really good for Acusar. I like to use a multitude of different products for concealing my Acusar and highlighting it. The HC one, the fucking Javin de Sol one, but I figured, oh, let me try this one and it's good too. To be honest with you, this became really famous especially on beauty YouTube because of Miss Nikki's tutorials, as an eyeshadow primer. But to be honest, for me, I don't really care for it. Like, is it an eyeshadow primer up here? Yeah, and make sure eyeshadow is more pigmented. But for me, because of my oily lids, I don't think it's very good for, like, oh, needing my eyeshadow to last long. It doesn't really help with that, to be honest. MAC Painterly Paint Pot. That's a combination of words you would hear every fucking day in 2016. And then I'm gonna use my AOU eyebrow thing for my Acusar. So darling, hold my hand. Do you see like how much of a difference that makes? To be fair with you, sometimes if you have a hooded lid like me, the addition of severely drawn in Acusar can be a little bit jarring, but I really like it for me just because my face is on the longer side, and if I don't have anything under here, and some kind of shading or eyeshadow, my mid face looks quite long, and you know, us in fucking Asia, we always trying to make everything smaller, aren't we? Definitely makes a difference, and I love it. You know what? Let's start playing with these fun colors. I want to use these two greens here. I'm going to use the lighter one called Lumen, and I'm going to put that in my inner corner. You guys, you know, like in C Beauty or whatever, they be doing the inner corner highlight with like a matte pale highlighter. I'm going to basically do that with this. Ooh. Okay. Okay, you better be fucking kidding me, bitch. normally colors like this, these like like these really yellowy shades can like really not work. It looks super patchy, but this shit is building up really fucking nice, girl. Look at that. Look how bright that shit is. Yeah. I am getting inspiration from this girl on Xiaohongshu. So I kind of want to basically recreate that look with this palette. And so besides this inner corner, I kind of want to put some like up here. Let's get crazy. I feel like this is such a Western makeup thing to put color or like a highlighter up here. Don't you think? They always be putting that matte bone white highlighter up on the brow bone, girl. Yeah. And then actually some here. Yeah. I fucking love that, bro. This is so sexy to me. It might look crazy on me as like, in the sense of like, this is definitely not daily makeup, but I don't fucking care anymore. The few times I get to play with makeup, living girl. And then I'm gonna use the deeper green here called Bilethorn. That is so, girl, that is so Dark Souls coded. And use that. Looks like there's a transition. Oh, that's a good green too. Yeah, probably not gonna be that noticeable, but it's okay. Think of it as like a blending color. This brush from Morphe is so good. M383, the eye detail brush, this is so good for if you have smaller eyes, like, not smaller eyes necessarily, but just like less space to work with. This is so good for getting in there. It blends really well and picks up color really well. Also because these eyeshadows could be good quality, but the combination is really nice. I'm gonna use the shade Gilded here, this really light, what is this color? The base is like this white shade, but it has like this green, bluish, multi-chrome effect to it. Girl, you better, oh my God. Sorry, ignore that black that was on my hand, but yeah. Here. Yeah, also I do want to take a little bit of the deeper green color that we used earlier and use some of that Yogi on the egg color. And then I'm gonna go back into this gray, the deeper gray that we used, and use that on the lower lashes here. Damn, girl, this look is hella involved. You know what? I'm gonna hella crazy. I'm gonna use double eyelid tape cause my eyes are so like, So I'm gonna use this to, what do I wanna use it for? I'm gonna fucking kind of give me a little bit more space to do shit out here. Because with my natural eyelids, it's not an option for me, girl. Spray it with a little bit of mist. To be honest with you, when I use these double eyelid tapes, I can't, you see some people using these and you get like this dramatic effect. For me, because my actual eye socket bone here is so low, I can't get that much of an effect for it. But it does give a little bit more space for me to do like an eyeliner if I wanted. Also, if this looks really obvious to you, sorry. I feel like for the creators that be using their phones to film their stuff, a lot of the front camera, like iPhone front camera quality is able to hide some of this, but because you guys can see my whole ass in 4K, this will probably look obvious on camera. Or I'm just not putting these on correctly, who knows? But this is the mesh type double eyelid tape where the glue is like in a mesh pattern so that when you spray it with water or something and you put it on the skin, if you do it properly, it should disappear really well as compared to the typical double eyelid tape that's just literal tape. I'm gonna touch up that green here. Don't want her to get blended up too much. Such a nice color. But with the double eyelid tape on, now I can actually use this black in here. And let's just build up this outer corner here. Not so much eyeliner, but just more shit out here. I don't know. In the inner corner as well. This is kind of giving like Gyaru vibes. Love it. I haven't used the reds yet. I feel so sad about that, but I don't know. I feel like red would have been so typical, especially because I have red hair, right? So I really wanted to use these greens. How do we incorporate the red into this look? Should we get a little bit crazy and use it almost like in the contour area? How about that? Let's choose red, the Bloodstone. I feel like when you have like a alternative eyeshadow palette and they have like a red in there, it's like a primary red. But I do like this sort of like blood red in there. Oh Lord, that's kind of hot. Although, it's so fucking pigmented. Holy shit. Literally, I'm using this brush and I'm like, but But look how much of this shit came out. Oh my god. Oh my god, now it's... fuck. Girl, me 2 seconds ago, I was like, oh, that's hot. Me now, maybe not so much. Blending out a little bit though, I don't hate it completely. Now you guys know, I love a good center highlighter, and I was saving this color for this moment, the Obscura. Yeah, dip in carefully. Look at that. It looks like a galaxy. It's like the base is like this bluish black, but when you turn it, it's like a mix of like purple and turquoise and blue and green. I'm a little sad because, one, it's fucking beautiful, but it's not going onto the fucking eyelid tape properly. You can see like it literally, the eyelid tape won't catch onto it. I probably should have done this first, but when my eye is open, yeah, it's not too bad when the eye is open, but voila. That is so fucking gorgeous, bruh. Ghoul, what the fuck did you think you were doing with this? The way you ate, sis. Should I take off the tape? I feel like it doesn't even make that much of a difference anyway. Or does it? I don't know. Whatever, I'll keep it on. If I take off the tape now, I might erase the eyeshadow underneath. But y'all, honestly, if you're ever gonna get this palette, that one fucking shadow, Miss Obscura, makes this whole shit worth it. Look at that. I'm using the initial 2 gray shades and on my little eyeliner brush, and because now with all this shit, the andesite doesn't look as pronounced. Starting to look a little shiny from this heat, girl, from this heat. Do you guys think I would be able to put a little bit of the red right here? Let me see if I can, let me try. Right here between, that gray and green right there. Oh yeah. Girl, I say oh yeah right now, I'm gonna fucking regret it 3 seconds later. Yeah, because I feel like it feels so ashy well if I don't use the reds. But also, I feel like it's a little bit ashy well if I don't use this red right here. Ruby Flame. This is what we're working with. Yeah. Here? Yeah, girl, that fucking eyelid tape is cock blocking right now. Ugh, whatever. It's a lost cause at this point. Like, you can see it right there, but you see that fucking tape like right in the middle of it. God damn it. With my eyes open and the little flash of red that you do get to see, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Yeah. All right, so I think that's it for the eyeshadow. I'll add a little bit of mascara. Let me just curl my lashes a bit. To be honest with you, there's so much going on with the eyeshadow. I don't want to kind of like be using falsies just because I feel like it will kind of take away from the eyeshadow. So I'm just going to use the AOU mascara, the volume one. I was thinking of, because you know how I feel like Western mascaras are a little bit more clumpy because they got those bigger wands. I was like, oh, maybe I should go buy one while I'm at HEB, which is like a Texas grocery store. But I was like, just for this look, girl, I'll just use this one. Don't get me wrong though. I feel like if you do a cunty little Doyen lash, girl, yeah. I gotta hurry, I only have 40% battery left. Conceal my lips. Touch of powder on them. Also, I forgot to contour my little Cupid's bow here. And then I want to use my little AOU lip pencil in the cement color. And just to keep the lips simple, I don't have any vampy lips with me. And I feel like red would just be kind of like overkill, to be honest. So I'm gonna use this AOU Prune Balm. To be honest, it's more of like a shade changing color. Like if you have a color that feels too bright or light on you, you can use it to tone it down. But it looks really pretty on its own, to be honest. Oh yeah. And then as a final little touch, I think I'm gonna use this powder foundation. I didn't bring I'm too lazy to go get it. My little highlighting powder. I'm gonna use this instead to highlight. If you've ever wanted to try the whole Sea Beauty thing with like the highlighting powders and stuff, but you find that your skin is too deep for a lot of the typical matte highlighting powders out there. I know Kaleidos makes a bunch of different colors for their matte highlighting powders, anywhere from really fair to really deep, but if you don't feel like ordering from Kaleidos, you can just use a powder foundation, to be honest. It's just lighter for your skin tone. This Makeup Forever HD powder, normally one side is the powder and the other side is just a sponge, but I had 2 colors and I just popped them out because you can actually pop these out, and I just put it in the other side. So I have one powder I use it's almost like a powder concealer, especially for like under my eyes. I'm gonna do right now, actually. that. And I have one powder for matte highlighting if I want to do it. I like to use it right here so that it widens my upper nose area, and then a bit here. You know, the one color I didn't use in this palette is Chimeweed color. Should I try that? Let me add a bit of Gilded, this one, as my highlighter here. Just highlight. Ugh. Yeah, that's what works as a really good highlighter because there's not too much of a base color in there. It's just the highlight part, so it doesn't look obvious on the skin other than when the light hits your nose. Let's use a bit of Chimeweed. Oh, can you see that? I have all these lights in front of me and I'm sitting in front of a lit window, so it might be hard to see, but holy shit, bitch. That's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Oh my god. If I turn these lights off, can you see? Oh my god. Well, I have to say, Miss Ghoul in Japan, she fucking kicked out of the motherfucking park with this goddamn palette. Miss Blightmoon over here. Honestly, if you are into these sort of like really gothy, alternative sorts of colors, this color story I think is, you know, to me, I feel like a lot of the creator collaboration palettes are just like rainbow palettes, if I'm honest. Or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough. Anyway, while you don't have to use every single color in this palette, I think with the combination of all of these, it's always gonna come out looking good. I feel like there's no filler colors in this. I appreciate that. And even despite using literally every fucking color on my face, I don't even hate it. Yeah, so honestly, Ghoul, you fucking killed it. I love it. And like, I use such little of every color, like I barely tapped into this shit. So I feel like this will last you a while if you're, you know, even if you use it every day. And so I think it's definitely worth, you know, I bought this with my own money and I totally do not regret it. Do be aware that if you are the type that uses double eyelid tape, that it doesn't really go on there like the glitters, but that's such a niche thing that I don't think it will matter for most people. There's the NOIRICORN in Ghoul in Japan eyeshadow palette. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you around. Bye. Love it.